Okay, good. So this is page 28, how Canadians govern themselves. So we're talking about Canada's government. Okay, so let's see. Um, let's see, Zaniba, would you like to start at the top there?
Yes,
This
teacher.
part here?
Okay. Which one?
Please?
Oh, that top one. Okay.
Yeah,
There are three key face factors about Canada's system of the government. Our country is the federal state, a parliamentary democracy, and constitutional monarchy.
very
Monarchy.
good. Monarchy. Yeah, monarchy. So these are three important things, and we'll understand them. Our country, federal state, parliamentary democracy, and constitutional monarchy. Yeah, so we will talk about what these mean. Okay, but you have to try to remember those three things because that's usually a question about government. There's three things in Canada. One, federal state, two, parliamentary democracy, and three, constitutional monarchy. Okay, so let's figure out what those three things mean. Okay, we'll just go down a bit here. And Zaniba, could you read the first part here too, where it says the federal state, and then we'll get everybody else,
Okay.
please.
There are federal, provincial, territory, and municipal governments in Canada. The responsibility of the federal and provincial governments were defined in 1867 in the British North America Act, now known as the Constitution Act.
Very good. Yeah, sorry.
Welcome.
Yeah, very good. Sorry to interrupt. These are these are very big words. When you're talking about government, the words are usually big, but the ideas are easy to understand. Okay, so there are many types of government in Canada: federal for all of Canada, provincial, each province, territory, each of the three territories, and municipal means cities and towns. And the responsibilities, so what the federal government and the provincial government have to do, these two things are important here. Try to remember these. British North America Act, 1867, and it was changed, and now it's known as the Constitution Act, 1867. So these two things say what the government is to do, is supposed to do. British North America Act, 1867, and now called the Constitution Act, 1867. That is sometimes a question. So we could try to remember that. That would be good. Okay, so let's see. Diallo, would you like to do the next part where it says in our federal state? Would you like to do that part?
Okay. In our federal state, the federal government takes responsibility for matters of national and international concern. They include defense, foreign policy, interprovincial trade and communication, currency, navigation, criminal law, and citizenship. The provinces are responsible for municipal government, education, health, natural resources, property and civil rights, and highway. The federal government and the provinces share jurisdiction over agriculture and immigration. Federalized allow different provinces to adopt policies tailored to their one population and give provinces the flexibility to experiment with new idea and policies.
Yeah, very good, very good. Very good. So this talks about what the federal government should do, and then it talks about what the provinces have to do, and then it talks about what the provinces and the federal government do together. So the federal government, so in Ottawa, they look after things that involve the country, national and international. They involve things that for all of Canada and then all of the world, international. And so these things are like defense, so our army, defending Canada, protecting Canada, foreign policy, how we talk to other countries, interprovincial trade and communication. So that means how the provinces trade or do business together. Currency is money. Navigation is how you move around the country. Criminal law, so that's things like murder and citizenship. So these are the things all that the federal government does. And then the provinces, they have to look after municipal government. So they're responsible for the city governments. They do education, so schools. They do health, so hospitals. They do natural resources, things like oil or coal or wood. And they do property and civil rights. Civil means things that aren't a crime. So things like divorce, things like that. And then they do highways. So those are all the things there. And then the other thing, there's two areas where the federal government and the province work together. There's only two. One is agriculture, so that's farms. And the other is immigration. So that's people coming to Canada. Yeah. So those are a lot of different things. There will be a question on that, but I think the question will be clear. You'll be able to answer the question. But try to remember what the federal government and the province do together. Agriculture, which means farming, and immigration. That's what they do together. And then the final part there says federalism allows different provinces to adopt different policies. So what that means is we're all one country, and Ottawa has to do Ottawa things, and then the province has to do their things. But the way the government runs, the provinces can do their own ideas. They don't have to do everything that Ottawa tells them to do. So the provinces can help their own people because they know their people better than Ottawa does. So that's what it's trying to say there. So a federalism allows, it's okay in federalism to for the provinces to do their own ideas, which is a good way to help the people because the provinces probably know the people better than the Ottawa does because they're close. Okay, very good. Always a lot of different ideas when you're talking about government. Okay, let's see. Ghazal, would you like to do this one here where it says every province? Would you like to do that one, please?
Yes, Brian. Every province has it is now elected legislative. What this is, Brian?
Legislative.
Legislative assembly, like the House of Canada in Ottawa, Canadians in Ottawa, Canadians in Ottawa. The three northern territories which have small population do not have the of provinces, but their government and assimilation assimilation cry out many of the small some func- function
Functions.
function.
Yeah, very good. Again, big words, easy ideas. Okay, so this says each province. So in Ottawa, for all of Canada, we have the House of Commons, right? That's where members of parliament go, in the House of Commons. That's where all the government is, in the House of Commons. But each province, they have their legislative assembly. So they do the same, it's the same idea, only for the province. So in Ottawa, it's called the House of Commons. In the provinces, it's called a legislative assembly. So it's just smaller. And then there's 3 Northern Territories. Does anybody remember the name of the 3 Northern Territories? Anybody remember the names? We have 10 provinces and 3 territories. Does anybody remember the name of the 3 territories?
Nunavut.
Nunavut, good.
Oh, Yukon
Good, good.
and the second.
You remember the third one?
Oh,
Northwest.
West Territories.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Yeah, very good. So Nunavut, Yukon, and Northwest Territories. Those are the name of the 3 territories we have in Canada. And there's not many people live there. Like, it's very cold, but there's not many people live there. So they don't, they don't have as much power as a province, but their governments still have to help the people. And so they do many of the same things. So the provinces have the provincial powers, and then the territories have less power. They're not as powerful as the province, but they still have to do many of the same things as a province. Yeah. And they don't call it a legislative assembly. It's just a different, less powerful government, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's go on to the next part. So that's talking about the federal state. Talks about the British North America Act, and then the Constitution Act of 1867. And that says what responsibilities the federal and the provincial government have to do. And then it talks about all the things the federal government has to look after, and then all the things the provincial government has to look after. And then the 2 things, agriculture and immigration, that they work with together. And then federalism is good because it helps because the provinces can have their own ideas within the country, which is better for the people. And then finally, it says each province has a legislative assembly, and the 3 Northern Territories have less people, so they're not as powerful as the provinces, but they do many of the same things. Okay, so that's all federalism. That's the federalist state part of it. That's number 1. Okay, and today we're just going to do parliamentary democracy. Okay, and let's see. Mohammed, would you like to do where it says parliamentary democracy?
Okay. In Canada's parliamentary democracy, the people elect members to the House of Commons in Ottawa.
Did I lose you, Mohammed?
Sorry, Brian.
It's okay, no problem.
In Ottawa, and the provincial and uh, territorial legislatures. Uh, these responsibilities are responsible for passing laws, approving and monitoring expend, expenditure, expenditures and keeping the government accountable. Cabinet, accountable cabinet ministries are responsible to the elected. Responsibilities with the names, with which means they must return the confidence of the House and have to reason in if they are defeated in a non-confidence vote.
Very good. Very good. Again, government language is government English is difficult sometimes, but yeah, it's very good. Very good. Okay. So we talked about the federal state. Now, parliamentary democracy, it really just means the people elect our representatives. That's the main thing of parliamentary democracy. The people, all of us, decide who we want to be in Ottawa, in the House of Commons, and who we want to be in the provincial and territorial legislatures, which is the same idea as a House of Commons. And so the things that these people do, these elected people, they make laws, and they decide how the money is to be spent, and then they make sure the money is spent well, make sure there's no problem spending the money. And then the third thing they do is they keep the government accountable. That means that all the members of parliament have to make sure the government is doing a good job and doing what they say. So that's why we have a government, and then we have an opposition to make sure the government is doing a good job. So the three things, try to remember these three things. The representatives are responsible for passing laws, so making laws, and then approving and monitoring expenditures, looking at how the money is spent, and then making sure the government is accountable, make sure the government is doing its job. Those three things. Those are the three things that the parliament are important in a parliamentary democracy. And then cabinet ministers. Do you remember what a cabinet minister? Cabinet minister is like a manager. Like if you look at the government, it's like a manager of defense, or a manager of Aboriginal affairs, or things like that. So they have to do more than the normal member of parliament. And so what happens is they have to, they're elected, and they have to retain the confidence of the House. That is a term that comes up here, confidence of the House. So they're talking about the House of Commons, where all the representatives are, and you have to maintain the confidence of the House. And that means that when they have a big idea and everybody in the House of Commons votes on it, if the people vote against their idea, then they must resign. They must resign. So that's what it means. You have the confidence of the House. So if they are defeated in a non-confidence vote, then they must quit. They must stop being a cabinet minister. That's what it means. Okay, so try to remember that confidence of the House. You have to you have, if they are defeated in a non-confidence vote, they must quit. Oh, okay. So again, so lots of big government English, but I think you'll be able to answer the questions well. So let's try some more now. Zaniba, would you like to do this one here? 3 parts, please.
Parliament has 3 parts. Is that one, teacher?
Yes, please.
Okay. Parliament has the 3 parts. The suffrage, queen or king. The Senate, oh, that's hard, and the House of Commons, provincial, legal selection or legal surgeries, comparing the, oh, teacher is the new, this lieutenant governor and the elected assembly.
Very good.
Good.
That's-
All I jumped.
You got it all right. That's very good. You got all the words right. Yeah, these are difficult words, but everybody's doing a very good job here. So again, so this is parliament. When we say parliamentary democracy, this is how our government works. We have 3 parts in a parliament. One is the sovereign, so the queen or king. That's all sovereign means. Sovereign is a big word that just means queen or king. The next part is the Senate. Third part is the House of Commons. So those are the 3 parts of our parliament. And then that's for Ottawa. And then the provinces, they have, instead of a queen or king or like a governor general, they have a lieutenant governor. So that's representative of the queen or king and the elected assembly, instead of a House of Commons. So in Ottawa, we have the sovereign, queen or king, the Senate and the House of Commons. And in the provinces, we have a lieutenant governor and the elected assembly. Lieutenant governor and assembly. So they only have 2 in the provinces. And in the government, in the parliament in Ottawa, they have 3. Okay, let's keep going. We're doing a good job today. Let's see, Daryl, would you like to read the last part there, please?
Okay. In the federal government, the Prime Minister selects the cabinet minister and is responsible for the operation and policy of the government. The House of Commons is the representative chamber made up of members of parliament elected by the people. Traditionally, every 4 years, senators are appointed by the Governor General on the advice of the Prime Minister and serve until age 75. Both the House of Commons and the Senate consider and review bills, proposals for new laws. No bill can become law in Canada until it has been passed by both chambers and has received royal assent, granted by the Governor General on behalf of the suffrage.
Very good. On behalf of the sovereign. Good. So these are all the parts. These are all the parts of the government. So the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he's our Prime Minister. So he's the leader of the party with the most votes, most seats, sorry. And he's the Prime Minister. So he chooses the cabinet ministers. And cabinet ministers are like managers. And so the cabinet ministers, they have to look at running the government. They do all the different parts of running the government. Prime Minister and the cabinet ministers, they run the government. And then the House of Commons is where all the MPs or members of parliament, representatives, they all work there. And these are people who are elected by the people. And every 4 years, usually every 4 years, we have an election. And then the senators, they aren't elected. They are appointed. That means they are given the job. And so the prime minister tells the governor general, I think this person would be a good senator. And then they keep the job until they're 75 years old. So some senators have that job for many, many, many years. And usually they are, smart people who have done good things for Canada. And so those are the two parts: the House of Commons and the Senate, and the senators. And then but you need both of them to make laws. The senators aren't elected; they're appointed by the Governor General on the advice of the Prime Minister. But you need both the House of Commons and the Senate to look at. They make laws. They pass laws. And before a law is a law, it's called a bill. So you might have an idea you might have a good idea. For example, not long ago, marijuana was illegal. And then they made a bill saying marijuana should be legal, and then they passed it and it became a law. So now in Canada, marijuana is legal, all over Canada. So it has to be passed by both chambers. That's a big word. It just means the House of Commons and the Senate. They're called chambers. So it has to be passed. They have to agree that it's a good idea, and they all vote yes. And then after that, they give it to the Governor General, and he or she signs it, and it becomes a law. So that's how it works. It has to be passed, a bill, an idea for something to change, then the House of Commons votes on it, and then the senators vote on it, and then it goes to the Governor General, and he or she signs it, and it's a law. Okay, so a lot of information here. I think the questions might be clearer when we break it down. So let's try to do some questions and see how we do here.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Who started reading? I think Zaniba started at the very beginning. Zaniba, do you want to do this one?
Okay, sure, I do. What are the three key, about the Canada system of government? Three key. Canada is federal state, parliamentary democracy, and constitutional. Yes, that's the first one.
Very good. Good way to start. First one correct. Very good. Okay. And then I think Diala read this, started reading secondly, didn't you? Yeah. Diala, could you do this one?
What are the level of government in Canada? Federal and territorial and municipal. Number 3.
Did you miss one?
Number 1.
Yeah. Maybe number.
Federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. I think that's right. Let's see. Yeah. Good. Federal, provincial, territorial, municipal. Yeah. So different levels. 4 levels of government. Good. Okay. And then let's see. Ghazala, would you like to do this one?
Okay, Brian. When were the responsibility of the federal and province government defined?
Define.
Okay.
Define.
Okay. 118. Number 3, Brian.
Oh, you guys are fast today. That's very good. 1867. Yeah, very good. And then Mohammed, do you want to do this one?
Okay, Brian. What is the former name of the Constitution Act?
Okay. President. No.
Number 3, Brian, the federal act.
No.
This is right at the beginning in the first paragraph where it says federal state. On the page there, you look at the place where it says federal state, and it tells you what it was called first. So now they call it the Constitution Act, but before it was called something else.
Number 1. Sorry.
No, it's
British. Yes.
British,
Number
yeah,
1. Number
the
1.
British North American, yeah.
Yeah, let's try
And
that.
Number
British,
1.
British North American Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. Very good. And then, okay, now we go back to Zaniba, I think.
Yes. Which act are the responsibility of the federal and provincial government defined? That's defined. The responsible act, Constitution Act, federal government. This is like the responsibility act. No, wait, the response federal defense.
You understand the question? Is that okay?
Yeah, which the
It's right, it's in the same it's in the same part that the last question was in on the page there. Where it
And
says federal, state, and then that paragraph, it tells you.
the Constitution. Number 2.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, very good. Constitution Act. Very good. Okay, and now we have Diallo, I think.
What is the shared jurisdiction of the federal and provincial government? Mm, Number 4.
So this question is what do
Oh,
the,
no.
yeah, well, take your time, take your time. This is in the part that you read, I think, down for the federal state area.
Number 3.
Agriculture and something. Civil rights?
Immigration.
and immigration.
Just
Uh,
agriculture, that one?
Number 2.
Yeah, maybe, let's see number 2. Yeah, agriculture and immigration. Yeah, so farming and welcoming people to Canada and the provinces. Yeah. Okay, good. And then back to Alex.
okay. How are centered Schengen
Our senators.
senators? Okay.
How do you choose the senators?
Senators. Okay. Okay. The province. Okay. House of Consumer. Government. Yes. Number 4, Brian.
Senators, are they're elected by the people? Senators?
Oh, I'm not sure. No, I think no.
Which one do you want? Take
Um,
your time, there's no hurry. Just you can ask for help if you don't.
Zala.
I think number three. I don't sure, but
You.
I think number three. I don't know.
Number, want to try number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Two.
It's okay. So it's number 2. It's okay. So they are the prime minister tells the
I
governor.
think this, but I'm not sure. I scared about. Oh my god.
No, it's no problem. It's no problem. There's a lot of information here. So the prime minister tells the governor general that person would be a good son. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, number. Okay, and then now we're back to Mohammed, I guess, please.
Okay, what does federalism means?
Wow.
Really? I think number 7. Mm, what do you think? This one, number 4. I don't know. Mm,
I'll give you a hint, Mohammed. This is the answer. The only
Right.
answer. The only answer that doesn't have the word federal in it.
Yeah.
It's a difficult question because all the
Yeah,
they all-
because I see the questions and I look in the
So,
step number 3 or 4. I can't find it something for that, but I think it's number 4.
yeah, I think you're right. This is a difficult question because it's
Mm.
not clear in the book. Yeah, but the most important thing about federalism is the provinces can do their own policies. Yes,
yeah.
the federal government doesn't control everything. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that's what, yeah, that's, most people have trouble with this question, Mohammed, don't worry about it.
No problem. Just
Yeah, yeah.
just I want to make sure about my answer because
Yeah, yeah.
I see the steps. I can't find it the some word from the questions, you know.
Yeah, this is on it says federal state,
Mm-hmm.
and then it says, there's one paragraph, and this is the bottom of the second paragraph.
Yeah.
Right at the bottom. Yeah, that's what federalism means. It
Okay.
allows different provinces to do their own thing. Yeah. Anyways, that's good. It's good you were taking your time to think about it because that's a difficult question. Yeah, very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Very good. Okay. So now we're back to Zaniba, I think, please.
Me, okay. Every province has every province has its own elected legislative assembly. Every province, true.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Province, yes.
Very good. Yeah, they have a legislative assembly. That's there. Good. And then we'll give the difficult one here to Diala.
Oh, how many territories are there in Canada? 3.
Yeah. You even know the names, so that's why it's not very good. Okay, very good. And then so we'll go back to Gizella gets the big long one here. Let's see.
Okay.
Can you read
What
that?
the-
I'll move it over a little bit. Maybe I can. What does parliamentary democracy mean?
Okay, democracy's name. Okay. One
Good.
second. The story. Oh, I didn't see because big. Story electric system house of colonies in Ottawa and the provinces and territories. Okay. One second. The Queen of the House of Colonies. Are you sure? Mhm. The people in number house. Oh. Number 2.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So
Yeah.
whenever you see democracy, it's always the people.
Yeah.
The people are only in a democracy. The people only the people elect members in a democracy. Nobody else. The people. Yeah, that's what democracy means. Yeah, very good. Okay, and then we're back to Mohammed again, please.
Okay. I didn't see. Okay.
Which of the following is responsibility of the members to the House of Commons in Ottawa and the province and
Can you read that? I'm sorry.
no, just the word it's
Oh,
cut in the phone.
provincial and territorial legislatures.
But I didn't see any answer.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
that's
there we go. Yeah, so what are the things? Remember, there is two things that the federal government and the provinces work at together. That's what they're asking again. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I made the question a little different. This
Okay,
is the
number one. Number one.
Yeah. Sorry. Is that what you wanted, Mohammed?
Number one. Yes, I told.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. They have to. Yeah. So the members have to keep the House of
Yeah.
Commons.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay. And now we're back to where are we going now? Zaniba, I guess, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher. Now is me. Oh, responsible of the member. This is told. Let me zoom in, teacher. What are the responsible of the member or to house? Okay, that is passing law.
I'm sorry. I keep moving it. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure you could.
Monitories, example, and keeping the government action. I take is number 2, teacher. Number 2.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you guys are getting all these right. Very good. And then back to Diallo, please.
What does it mean to retain the confidence of the House? Number 2.
Okay. So this one's number 4. It means the cabinet ministers have to be responsible to the elected representatives. Yeah, that's what. So the House of Commons is only for elected people, and then the senators aren't in the House of Commons. Yeah, These are difficult questions. They get more difficult as they go along here. Very good. Okay. Let's try this one. Okay. Now we're back to Ghazala, I think.
Okay, Brian. What happens the cabinet minister are difficult in and now confident vote. Okay. Okay. They have to register to keep the okay. Mm, keep the offense for more years. Okay, number 2, I think.
So if cabinet ministers are defeated, if they lose a vote,
Okay, okay.
so this,
Mhm.
cabinet ministers,
Oh,
they have a big idea, and then people vote, we don't like your idea. What
yeah.
happens?
Um, number 4, nothing.
Okay, let's try. Let's try and see. No, they have to resign. They have to quit. Yeah.
I listen
Yeah,
for my husband.
it's okay. These are hard. These are hard questions. Do not worry about it. That's why we're doing them now, so you don't have to do them on
I don't help him now.
the You don't trust him. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay.
Now
So this one is for
let's
Muhammad.
continue. Okay.
What comprises
كبرها.
a provincial legislature?
Legislature. So what's in a provincial legislature?
Number 3, Brian.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Nice here. Very good. Lieutenant governor and elected assembly. That's what's in a provincial legislature. Very good. And then I think Zaniba, this is back to you now, I think.
Back to me. Okay. And how does bill become a law? The bill must be passed by the House of Commons and the Senate. No. The bill, wow, send and received loyal assent. That's the one is the result number 1 because it's like receive. You say the royal.
Yeah, royal assent. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So passed by the House of Commons, the Senate, and then the royal assent, that means the governor general. Yeah, very good. Okay, and then let's see, this is for Diallo, please.
What are the responsibilities of the federal government? Number 1.
Very good. Matters of national and international concern. Very good. And then let's see, Gazala, would you like to do this one, please?
Okay. Which of the following the responsibility of federal government? Health. Okay. Citizen. I think number 2.
You guys are getting fast. That's very good. Okay. And then Mohammed, what's this one?
No, Muhammad Najee. Down just 1 minute. But
Okay,
it's
no problem. No problem.
He is coming.
Okay, good.
Okay.
For what are the provincial governments responsibility? Number 4, education, health, natural resources.
No.
Very good. Again, very fast. Everybody's doing these very fast. Very good. And then, so we're back to Zaniba now, please.
Oh, me. Which of the following is responsible of the province? Policy, dependence, highways, internet. And number 1.
Responsibility of the provinces?
And provinces is like defend this
Like just Ontario, Quebec, that type of thing.
forage.
The number 1 means foreign policy. That means how we deal with other countries.
Define province tried. I don't know. Maybe it's the last one. Maybe it's the defines number 2 or the last one. That's the one I'm.
Okay, I'll just explain what these mean and then you'll know.
Okay.
Okay, so the what is the province responsible for? Okay, number 1 means how Canada deals with other countries. Number 2 is defending or protecting Canada with the army. Number 3 is the highways. Number 4 is how all the provinces work with each other.
And number 4. Highway, I don't know. I can't. Highway.
Oh,
I can,
highway. Do you know highways?
yes, highways is like highway, or the highway is another means.
No, highways is just the road, the big roads that run.
Yes. How they
Yeah.
work in province, I can take highway. Maybe they're working together.
Hey, very good.
Why do you choose teacher like highway? Is like all province they working with the highway?
Yeah,
Yes.
so each province is responsible for the highway. Like in Ontario, we have the 401.
Yeah.
And that's, that the government has to make sure it's a good road. These ones are all for Ottawa. These are all Ottawa ones. Yeah.
I wish they don't come this test citizenship. They don't come my mind like highway stuff.
These are difficult questions and everybody's doing very well. So, okay. And now back to Diala now.
What does federalism do? Number 2, different provinces of adopt policy.
Very good. Very good. Those are different provinces to do their own things for their populations. Good. Okay, let's see. I think we got it. Okay. Okay, and this one is for Gazala.
Okay. Where are the prominent Bolinig
Buildings
buildings elected?
located. So where are the
Located.
parliament?
Located
It's okay.
here.
Where are the
Ottawa,
parliament?
Toronto. I think number 1.
Yay, very good. Let's see what the next one is. We go into the next members of in Canada. How are political representatives chosen? So this one, the last question is for Mohammed. So in
Okay.
Canada, how do we choose our representatives?
Okay, go Mohammed.
In Canada, how are politi- b-
Political representatives.
political representative chosen members of the House of Commons and
Number.
That's a long question.
Yeah.
It's so who chooses the when we have elections, who chooses these people? Who chooses our representatives for the provinces and the territories and the federal government? Who chooses them?
the number one, I think they are elected by the people.
Very good, excellent. Very good job. Okay. Excellent. I'm going to stop there because you did such a good